Greetings, chemistry students. This is Miss Malatin. Today we're going to learn about counting atoms. So we will start right here. We have a compound, potassium oxide, and we are going to count the number of atoms present. This is a pretty easy example. First thing I do is I list the elements, potassium and oxygen, and then in this compound, in this situation, all we have is subscripts. So all we have to do is count. There's 2 potassiums and 1 oxygen. Pretty easy so far. So next one, where we have a little more trouble, is when we have polyatomic ions. So in this example of barium hydroxide, we need to look at this parentheses tells us that there are 2 of the hydroxide ions. That means that there are 2 of everything inside of here. So we are going to list our elements. We can start with the barium. Since it's not inside of the parentheses, there's only 1. Now inside the parentheses I have 1 oxygen, but we have 2 of the hydroxide ions. So 1 oxygen times 2 for a total of 2 oxygen atoms. And the same with the hydrogen. 1 hydrogen times 2 is a total of 2 hydrogens. Let's look at the next one. We have iron nitrate here. First thing you do is you list all of the elements. We have iron, we have nitrogen, we have oxygen. We'll start at the front. The iron is not inside the parentheses. There's only 1. The nitrogen, there's 1 nitrogen in the nitrate, but we have 3 of the nitrate polyatomic ions. So this is 1 times 3, a total of 3 nitrogens. Now the oxygen, there are 3 oxygens in the nitrate, and we have 3 nitrates. So we're not adding them, we're multiplying. That's 3 oxygens and 3 of the nitrates. So that is a total of 9 oxygens. This one looks complicated, but it's not. This time we're looking at this coefficient. This coefficient means that we have 2 units of this compound, whether it's formula units at lowest ratio or 2 molecules. Now I'm easily confused, so what I normally do is I figure out how many atoms of each element are in the compound and then multiply that number by the coefficient in the end. So I make it 2 steps. So right here, nitrogen, we have, so right now I'm going to pretend this doesn't even exist. And then I'm going to multiply by 2 at the end. So nitrogen, I have 1 nitrogen in my polyatomic ion times 2. So that is 2. I have 2 hydrogens times 2, that's 4 hydrogens. And then we go over this carbon and this oxygen, they are not inside the parentheses. So I have 1 carbon and 1 oxygen. Now I'm going to take into account for 2 of them. Times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. For a total of 4 nitrogens, 8 hydrogens, 2 carbons, and 2 oxygens.